Welcome back to the Movie Draft House. I'm your host, Mark, joined by co-host Jeff.
Happy Halloween. Officially, today is Halloween.
Yeah, trick or treat, motherfucker.
What are you dressed up as?
Podcast host number 1.
Ah, dang it. You copied mine. I'm also podcast host number 1.
Damn it.
Shit.
We can both be number 1. It's fine.
Yes.
Happy Halloween. And Jeff, what's the theme this month?
Well, I hate explaining this theme. You know it's a bad theme when I hate explaining it. You know it's a simple theme.
I just think you use too many words to explain it.
Okay, what's the theme this month, Mark?
The Mount Rushmore of Slasher Villains.
Oh, and what does that Mount Rushmore consist of?
Villains in cinema? What?
You
wanted me to recap what villains we've had?
I mean, okay.
We have Warwick Davis's face as Leprechaun.
Okay.
We have Jason Voorhees's face from the Friday the 13th final chapter.
Mm-hmm.
We have, damn it. Ghostface Killer from Scream 2. Then we have Chucky's face.
That's right.
From The Bride of Chucky.
Mm-hmm.
And Jeff, do you want to tell them what we're capping it off with?
We watched Michael Myers' inaugural appearance in the 1978 film Halloween. It runs for an hour and 31 minutes. It stars fucking Jamie Lee Curtis and Donald Pleasance. It is directed and written by John Carpenter with another writing credit to Deborah Hill. Now, have you seen this?
I had not.
I don't think I've ever sat down and watched Halloween.
Yeah, I for sure had never watched this. I mean, I knew of it, right? Obviously.
It's legendary for being sort of the father of slashers.
Yeah, I just like it being from the late 70s. Obviously, I threw it out the window in consideration on my own time. To proactively watch it, and however, I'm glad I got the opportunity to scratch this one off the list. It is certainly it's an hour and a half, so I'm down for anything.
It is certainly an hour and a half.
I'm down for anything that is less than an hour and 32 minutes.
So, watching this, did you get it? Did you get the hype behind it? Did you get why it's so beloved and spawned Michael Myers? To be one of the Mount Rushmores of horror films?
This is probably sacrilege to everybody, but no. And I felt the same, while watching this, I felt the same way as I did when we watched Friday the 13th final chapter. I found it largely boring until the last 20 minutes. And I didn't really get I liked the opening. I thought the opening was very clever, and kind of establishes, gets a little exposition out of the way without really saying anything. And I like that. And then it goes into the opening credits. That was smart. But then we spend really the majority of the film just following these people around, and they're not really telling us anything. It's Halloween, and Jamie Lee Curtis's character is a babysitter, and there's just really no story per se to this film other than Michael Myers' escape from this insane asylum, which is really weird, is because he just walked out, and then he
we didn't
jumps
get to
on
see him break out. They just get there, and all of the inmates are outside of the asylum wandering around in the rain.
Yeah, and it just I felt like there was what this film really just wanted to do was just be a film about this guy who just goes around and he's following people around with this weird mask on, and then he decides he's going to kill him. And so I don't know. What do you think?
I completely agree with you. I do not understand. I guess if I put myself in the 70s and I'm at home and the lights are out. Granted, this probably isn't airing on television,
Right.
and it's late at night. I can maybe see getting some thrills out of this. But I honestly, this is very boring.
Yeah.
Like you said, the opening's great, and the closing is fine. I personally, again, like you said, is sort of sacrilege, but I don't know that this is aged that well, and not in a get this movie canceled sort of way, but in a you watch any other slasher, including Friday the 13th Part 4, and it's just better and are smarter. And I mean, like, the Scream movies are a hell of a lot smarter, but the character, and again, this is the first slasher, fair enough, and she does all the stupid shit that slasher heroines do. How many times has she stabbed Michael Myers one time and then throws the knife away?
Right.
And it happens multiple times. And I just had to be like, you idiot. Like, so stupid. And you compare it to the Carrie Strode of the most recent trilogy, where she's really badass and prepared for him and everything. And granted, that's a Carrie Strode far in the future. But this one is dumb as rocks. Really stupid. As is most of the cast. And I found a lot of things that I think were meant to be scary, to be funny. Like a lot of the Michael Myers driving the car and just showing up at random places, I kind of found humorous. And like the other thing is, some of the stuff that's meant to be like these jump scares are like also funny. I think like when she's finally at the end of the house and she's seeing all her friends are killed, and then one cupboard just opens itself on its own, and there's a dead body in there, and it was just like, really, what is? And then Donald Pleasance, who gets top billing in this film, doesn't do shit until the very end.
Well,
you just get to watch people babysit.
Yeah,
that's what this is. You get to watch people babysit, and it's not as fun as Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead or Adventures in Babysitting. Those are better movies. Damn, that's harsh. But this is very dull. And like I said, if you were there back in the day, maybe this shocked you. But exploitation films of the 70s were already out. There was more crazy shit that you could watch instead of this. And it's possible the jaded horror fan in me, but a lot of horror fans love this. It's like the movie to them, and they swear by it. You know, it's the best slasher. But man, shit all happens in this movie.
I just and
it was hard to finish. It was hard to finish.
It was. And like, and I'm saying that that's luckily this film is an hour and a half. And didn't decide
longer than that.
It did. But like, there was a scene where he kills. It's the guy and the girl, and they're having sex upstairs in the bedroom.
Yeah.
And the guy goes downstairs or wherever, and Michael Myers kills him, and then he walks upstairs with a sheet over his self. And he's got sunglasses on, and I'm
that was really good. I'll be honest.
No, but I'm like,
I love that. It was so funny.
is this meant to be comedic? Like,
well, they weren't sunglasses. They were the guy's glasses that he killed down in the kitchen.
Oh, well, I was like, how out of place? Just this weird thing. Like, why would Michael Myers care? Like, why would he care that much? I also don't understand why he's killing. I don't like.
Well, he's just a homicidal maniac. I'm fine with that. Like, that's what
but
they
like,
established.
But like, he's got this therapist or this counselor, whoever the guy is, Donald Pleasance.
I don't know what he is, but yeah, it's some sort of doctor that's familiar with
He
him.
has all of the exposition, and we get none of it. Like the person that knows him the best.
Yeah. And all he does is wander around town telling the cops he's coming.
Right.
He's on his way. Great. I'm glad you're here. Like, he doesn't do any detective work. He wanders around.
But he also doesn't tell us why we actually should care that Michael Myers is killing people.
He's killing
we're
people.
just.
I mean,
but like, did these people wrong him? Does he know these people? Like,
he's a
and
maniac. Like,
sure.
I think that's asking too much of this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't need to know why Jason's killing people, but what I do want is more kills. I want better characterization, and I want the people to do something. But it really felt like this padded out the runtime, something furious.
Oh yeah, for sure. And like also, like I didn't really feel like Jamie Lee Curtis was the protagonist up until 15 minutes left in the film.
Well, I mean, I think that they introduce her kind of first, and so you kind of get that. But Donald Pleasance again gets top billing. He's barely in the movie, and I don't know, man. Like, there are a lot better Halloween movies than this. Like, I think the first of the recent trilogy is really great. The rest of them aren't as good. But
didn't what's his face do one? House of a Thousand
Zombie,
Corpses.
never saw it, and I have no desire to. I hate that man's films.
Catch the back catalog.
Yeah, I love the Monsters episode, Devil's Rejects. Like, those are the only ones I've seen, and they're trash. So, they're horrible.
I'm sorry you feel that way.
You don't have to apologize.
No, I do because
I mean,
that's time out of your life you'll never get back.
Yeah.
So, but no, it just. There are some good things that I liked here.
Yes.
I thought the score, that piano that comes in every time Michael Myers is on screen, it was like the score is another villain in this movie. And it serves a purpose, right? It's meant to, and it's iconic now that dee 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 dee.
Right.
You were just doing it before we recorded. But like I like that. I like that. It establishes that he is this menacing character, and he gets his own intro music every time he's on screen. And so like throughout the film, I'm like, okay, cool. This is he's gonna turn out to be this menacing badass. That is just gonna wipe everybody out of the movie. And we really never got that. It wasn't until midway through the movie that we actually got a shot of the mask. And then at the end of the film, we get him. He takes the mask off, and then he puts it back on. Like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, that was surprised me. Like, I didn't know that they had ever shown Michael Myers' face in any of these movies.
Right.
But they do in this. So.
But like he put the mask back on, and I'm like,
well, I mean, yeah, I didn't care either way. Do you know the story behind the mask?
No, I don't.
So when they chose the mask, it's a mask of William Shatner's face that they painted up, and I don't know if they inverted it or what, but it's actually William Shatner. No joke.
Really?
Yep.
That's interesting. That's cool. That's cool little trivia. It's random, but. Like, that's interesting. But like, why does he wear it? Why that mask? Why?
It's
why
what was
anything?
Available,
right? I don't understand why. In the film, and the editing is wonky in this a little bit. Like, there's just different, not styles of camera work here, but it's just like the camera does weird things. Like there's a certain shot where Jamie Lee Curtis falls down the stairs.
That was weird. Yeah.
The camera follows her like as she's going down, but then the next shot is the camera like underneath and shows her like fall, and it was just weird. I was like why'd you do it that way? I just wish like this film had gone for the ominous approach to Michael Myers rather than kind of this maniac who escaped from the asylum, because like I did think the shots of Michael Myers off in the distance, just waiting, just like standing, were effective. And I just wish they had done that more. Like,
Yeah, one of my favorite shots is near the end where she's kind of standing in front of the door after finding all the bodies, and there's the shadow behind the door, and you barely see the mask above her shoulder, even to the point where it takes you a second to be like, oh shit, it's there. I really like that. The sequence of him chasing her near the end of the movie is pretty good. The shots of him above the stairs and the shadow being cast down the steps and all that stuff I like. But I kind of like, one of the things about horror movies I like is the atmosphere, is those little chill moments where you're like, oh shit, there it was. Did you see that? Maybe I didn't see that. And there's just not enough of that in this. It's just, as long as they wander around and shit, you'd hope there'd be more stuff in the background to look at.
I mean, you would think, but like, I don't know. It was just, there was just a lot of like, I'm like, I don't understand it. And like, and maybe that's this era of thriller, because I would classify it. I mean, I know this is kind of the grandfather of horror films, but or slasher films, but like I just wish it had gone more for the kind of vague, ominous antagonist, rather than we get a shot like every couple minutes of Michael Myers and just him in his jumpsuit. Or like, I wish like they had to save the reveal of Michael Myers for like the last 20 minutes. Like, I could have done with Jamie Lee Curtis being
then
tormented
you would have
by
nothing. Then you would have absolutely nothing. Like, because already nothing happens, but if you take Michael Myers out of there, then even less than nothing happens.
No, I'm saying, like, you know, just show him off in the distance, and then like finding bodies. Like, you know, he's just like, I could have gotten behind John Carpenter going, hey, we're just gonna show this guy Michael Myers just standing in the shrubs outside this house, and then the next shot is somebody finding dead bodies in the house he was standing outside of. Or, you know, he's sitting in a parked car across the street, and then somebody finds bodies in the backyard, you know, whatever. Rather than just following around and him going to the school, and then him going to the hardware, like, I just didn't need all that. I didn't need, and especially if I'm not going to see his face, or you're not going to give me any dialogue for him. You know, I know that he doesn't say anything, but I just like, if we're going to do all that, then give me the exposition. I didn't understand the motivations behind a lot of the decisions that were made in the film.
Yeah. Have you ever watched, to point at a movie that came out before this that was way more scary and violent and entertaining, have you ever watched the Texas Chainsaw Massacre? I know the
original?
No. Yeah. From 74. I mean, it was 74.
I've never watched it like start to finish, but I've seen bits and pieces of it.
Yeah. So that movie is fucking crazy still. Like, even today, I watched it for the first time recently, and it got me. It was like, oh, like, it made me feel dirty afterwards. It was a gross movie. And it's held up all these years. I mean, the acting isn't great, but it's pretty fucked up. But man, like, Halloween is just so like Disney. Feels like you could air this on Disney. I mean, you cut out the boobs and you just run it as is.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really was surprised how little I enjoyed this.
Yeah. I was too, a little bit, even though like midway through, I'm like, I feel the same way I did about the final chapter. It's like,
I prefer the final chapter to this, but I'm a Jason fan, so.
Well, at least in the final chapter, he's at least killing people throughout the movie
at a consistent pace.
Right, but like here, we're just like, okay, follow these teenagers around. Cool. Oh yeah, she's babysitting again. Cool. Here's these kids, and the boogeyman's coming.
Oh my god, that kid annoyed me. It's the boogeyman, the boogeyman. Oh god,
The boogeyman only comes on
Go to
Halloween.
bed. Damn it. Yeah, man. And I've seen what's funny is I've seen other Halloween movies like Halloween H2O, and I've seen the most recent trilogy. I've never been like a big fan of the series. I've always been a Jason guy, or Chucky, but I've seen better Halloween movies in the series. I mean, it's blasphemous, I guess, to say, but I prefer Halloween H2O. I prefer the most recent Halloween, not Halloween Kills or Halloween Ends, but the one before that, the first one of that trilogy. But yeah, I can't.
No, I mean, luckily I can cross this one off the list and never watch it again.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty dull.
And what's the thing about this one is that I never I read people that say it's a classic and this and that, but I never when cable was a thing and all that, I never noticed that it was on TV too much.
Yeah.
And so now I'm thinking, I was like, well, if it's a classic, why don't more people see it? Maybe I'm alone. I'm just one of the few that hasn't seen it, but I don't know. This one was a miss for me. I'm just going to get right to the point. I don't recommend this one.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat, surprisingly. Unless you're an aficionado of the genre, you've probably already seen this then. So if you haven't seen it by now, I don't know that it's going to do much for anyone. I don't see this movie making new fans.
Right. And
I could be wrong, though.
And maybe, and there are certainly some iconic pieces of film history that came out of this, like the score. I mean, it's
right.
The score is iconic now,
and it's spawned a genre. So
sure,
I get that.
So if you're
thinking
like
of it through my eyes, the 2024 eyes of someone who's seen a lot of horror movies, I just don't think that this is going to do something for someone who isn't watching it just from a historical perspective.
Right.
Of watching where this sort of began. That I understand. If you want to see where it started, go ahead and watch it. But if you're watching it purely to be entertained or scared, I think you can look elsewhere.
Yeah. Complete agreement. Jeff, it's draft night, bitch.
It is draft night, bitches. Oh my gosh. Feels like it's been a whole month since we've done this.
It's been a whole 5 weeks.
Damn. Well.
Hey, what's the theme next month, though?
So next month, we're going to take it easier on ourselves and do a theme that's actually people can understand. We're going to watch some heist movies. It's time to rob a bank, steal some shit. Heists,
But I should say that a heist movie doesn't have to be just robbing a bank.
I need some shit to be stolen, though.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's what heist is,
I mean, I guess technically you could watch a heist movie where someone hacks into a computer system and just takes social security numbers. It's not a very good heist movie, but I guess it would qualify.
That better be entertaining because that sounds boring.
Yeah, it does. So, how many weeks are we looking at? 4? We should be looking at 4.
Should be. It's November.
Yep,
only
4
has 30
weeks.
days. So
4 weeks, and we'll watch these to, I was going to talk about the election, but let's not. Let's just skip that. And why don't you go first?
All right. So I took this theme and I went.
Oh no!
Kind of
this is already
more.
Started.
I got like a subgenre.
Oh, here we go. This shit is not going to be a heist movie. You stole my heart. That's a heist movie, baby. It's a romance. It's bullshit.
No, that's actually not a bad idea.
That is a bad idea.
No, with all of my films, and I have 3 because I don't think you're going to pick 2 of them. I decided to go sci-fi heist films.
Oh, see, now you're talking my fucking language. I like where that's going.
Yeah. So, with to start the month off, and we're going to start it off with a pretty well known film, but I don't
I'm
think
trying
you've
to think
seen
of a
it.
science fiction heist movie.
Yeah, yeah,
Ah,
yeah. But I don't think you've seen it because you're notably
don't
here on the
watch new
podcast
shit.
not a not a fan of the franchise. But
Interesting.
so week one we're gonna watch Rogue One, a Star Wars story.
What's interesting about this, and I have not seen it because I'm
Okay, good.
generally not
Woo.
a
Yeah,
hardcore Star
you're
Wars
not
guy.
a Star Wars guy. Yeah.
But it has been told to me that it is one of the best Star Wars movies.
Yeah.
And I've had a friend been begging me to watch it for years. And I'm just like, dude, I don't care. I don't care. It's Star Wars. I just don't care.
And it is a
So,
heist movie, so that's,
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I have no complaints, and it's given me a reason to finally watch it.
it's got a 7.8 on IMDb, just so you know.
I don't
So
care.
yeah.
Nice.
It's directed by Gareth Edwards.
So I'm picking some shit I've never seen. Is
Okay.
what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Because what we do is we just Google heist movies and then look at lists and then pick shit that looks good.
Right.
At least that's what I do. I don't want to put
Yeah.
words in your mouth.
I don't know how else you would pick a heist movie.
It wouldn't surprise me if you've seen this because you watch a lot more modern movies than I do. But it was from 2021, so
Okay.
prep your butthole for that.
Yep,
And it stars Don Cheadle and
Ooh.
Benicio del Toro.
Okay.
And I believe it went direct to streaming because it was
During the pandemic.
pandemic times.
Yeah.
And it also stars John Hamm, David Harbour, Kieran Culkin. So it's got quite the little cast on it. It's called No Sudden Moves.
No sudden. That doesn't sound familiar.
Okay, well then you haven't watched it.
I don't think I have.
And it's on HBO Max, so you don't have to go to illegitimate means.
No sudden move.
Is it No Sudden Move? I apologize.
It is no sudden move. Huh. No, I don't think I've seen this.
Oh, there we go.
Interesting. All right. So for my second film, it's another sci-fi
Wow.
heist.
Is this Star Wars again? Have you found two Star Wars heists? I mean, because I've never seen the Han Solo film, so
No,
I
I'm
guess
not. I'm not picking that one.
that could be a heist movie. It's not out of
He
the
was a
realm of
smuggler.
possibility. Yeah, I know.
Anyways, we're gonna watch from the year 2015. It's a Neil Blomkamp directed film.
Oh,
We're gonna watch the film Chappie.
never seen Chappie. Have you seen it?
Maybe.
I got a feeling that's going to be the stinker of the month.
Ooh, I don't think so.
And not just because you picked it, but
But anyways, Chappie is what is stolen in this film. And they I guess have to do, the group has to do whatever they got to do to get it back. I don't know.
yeah, okay, that sounds like a heist, I guess. Well, I'm going to take us back a little bit further then, because most of these movies are too new for my ass. So we're going to go back to 1992.
Oh god.
And it's this movie I've seen the poster from 1,000 times, but check out the cast list. Robert Redford, Sidney Poitier, River Phoenix, and Dan Aykroyd. So Dan Aykroyd was the main reason. I was like, oh, Dan Aykroyd's in it? Okay, good enough. It's called Sneakers from 1992.
I've never heard of it.
Oh, I've seen the
Probably.
picture many times in my years of going to the video store and just never getting around to watching it, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, listen. This is you've never seen all four of these films?
That's correct. What did I say the last one
Wow.
was? I forgot now.
Sneakers.
Sneakers. All right. Got those saved. Archived this. So let's run it down. We're going to watch Rogue One next week.
Yeah.
No Sudden Move.
Yeah.
Then Chappie
Yep.
and Sneakers.
Yeah.
That's not a bad month of movies,
Yeah,
I think.
should be And I think Chappie comes out on Thanksgiving, right? Or does it Sneakers?
Probably Sneakers.
It's
What day is
Sneakers.
Thanksgiving this
Yeah.
year?
20,
The
the
28th?
28th. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be Sneakers then.
Interesting.
So I have a question, and we can cut this out if you decide it's a bad idea.
Okay.
But I was thinking about next year,
Okay.
and we've been picking these monthly themes for a while now.
Okay.
And I was thinking, let's take a year off from themes.
Okay.
I know that's extreme. I can't see your face, but I'm guessing it's shocked.
It is it's a confused face. It's because it's called the movie Draft House.
Now, it's not called the movie Theme House, is it?
No.
No. So drafting could still be a thing.
Okay.
Drafting could be us picking movies, right?
Okay.
Taking turns picking movies, right?
Okay.
So what I present to you for the year of 2025 is what I would like to call the 1 degree of separation. Okay. So whatever our last movie is this year, the way I envision it is you pull up the IMDb page for that movie, and within one click on that IMDb page, you find our next film. So you could click an actor, you could click the director, screenwriter, producer, what have you, but 1 degree of separation, and you pick your movie based on that. And so we'd be drafting each week, taking turns.
It's not a bad idea. I don't hate it. I don't
ruminate
hate it.
on it.
I
was just thinking of a little change, something to liven up the house. You know, we've both have been struggling for themes, and to varying degrees of success, and I just was something I was thinking about.
Oh, I appreciate the suggestion, and I will sleep on this. Okay. And so tune in next week to
find out what
we're doing in
no.
25.
When Mark goes, fuck that, that's a terrible idea. We're gonna do shitty themes for the rest of our lives, and then I'll just be like, all right, Mark, fine. Shit.
However, what's not shitty is you hitting the subscribe button when it pops up if you're watching here on YouTube, so you don't miss any future content right here on the podcast. And if you want to follow the podcast on all your favorite social media platforms, we're at Movie Draft House. You can find us on Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, right here on YouTube. So give us a like, follow, and subscribe. And if you want to follow Jeff on any of your favorite social media platforms, too fucking bad, because you can't, because he's not there anymore.
I don't know what to tell you, man. There's times where I'm like, it'd be nice, but there's other times where I'm like, it's a lot nicer to be without.
Hey, you got to get back on the Twitter machine for the week and a half from now.
Oh, afterwards. Yeah, not before. But even then, the shit's going to hit the fan either way. It's just going to be ugly.
To watch the United States implode on itself.
No matter what way it goes.
Right, regardless of which way. I
just feel like it's going to be ugly.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah.
Want to check out my other podcast, though, you can. It's called Chronologically. We're wrapping up the end of our Stephen King series. Our next season is going to be Quentin Tarantino, which should shock a lot of people that know me, because I'm not a huge fan, but maybe that'll change. You know, it's been a long time since I've seen Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction and all this other stuff. I mean, there's movies I've notably said I like Jackie Brown, Kill Bill. I like those movies. Django Unchained. So maybe it'll change.
Is it Eric that hated Once Upon a Time in
No, it was my buddy
Hollywood?
Jason. He said he liked it. I'm like, I really don't want to watch that shit. It looks boring. Did you like it?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Ugh.
But I'm a Tarantino fan, so I like most of his stuff. There are a couple that I was just like, this is too like stylistic for me, or like Kill Bill. I'm not the biggest Kill Bill.
That's the thing that gets me. As I was talking to Eric about this, I said, yeah, I love Jackie Brown. He goes, oh, that's one that I don't like. And it's like the ones I like are the ones like Tarantino fans don't like.
Right.
Kill Bill is the shit. Like, I love Kill Bill.
I just it's such a departure from. I mean, not so much a departure from the how it's formatted, like heavy dialogue, witty dialogue, kind of disjointed story that all comes together at the end. It's just very stylish, and like to me that was like a like fish out of water for him. Even though like a lot of people really enjoyed it, I'm like, it's not my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, join us next week as we kick off heist film month here on the podcast with our review of Rogue One, a Star Wars story. Jeff, any last words?
None. I'll see you next week.